This month, I want to talk to you about divorce from a kid's perspective. Hi, my name is Matthew Brickman, president of iMediate, Inc. I am not a product of divorce, as my parents just celebrated their 48th wedding anniversary. Unfortunately, though, my children are a product of divorce. First, let me give you a little bit of history. For those of you who have not read my blog, articles on my website, or the internet, or read my book, you're not the only one. Here's a summation of my experience. I was married at 21, had my daughter at 21, and had my son at 23. I was in a very difficult, unhappy marriage for 7 years. I was divorced in 2001, and we had a very amicable divorce. A short time later, we tried to reconcile, and it failed. We split again, and then my ex left our kids with me and moved out of state and created a replacement family. Additional circumstances led us into court 43 times over a 12-year period. Our children were definitely the collateral damage of me and my ex's legal battles. As of the date of this recording, my children are 21 and 23. After years of therapy for them and myself, we are quite well. Yet the sting of divorce will always linger, as they have spent most of their lives so far being torn in between myself and their mother. Before we move forward, let me give you some rear view mirror 2020 hindsight and realizations from my perspective as a mediator and also one who has lived through a difficult marriage and divorce. The sun rises and sets with the tone that men set in the relationship. Women will either respond or react to that tone. While my ex was not a good wife in any way, shape, or form, I created an extremely difficult environment for both of us. Looking back, I'd probably divorce me. I was a dictator. I was always stressed. I was mean. I was verbally and emotionally abusive and absent physically and emotionally most of our marriage. She shouldn't have had multiple affairs, but I wasn't there, so... In any case, after years of therapy and self-discovery, I have such peace in my life and a phenomenal relationship with my current wife, great relationships with my kids, and I have a tolerance for my ex. This past weekend, I saw an amazing HBO special called Don't Divorce Me: Kids' Rules for Parents on Divorce. It was one of the best 30-minute documentaries I've ever seen. It is a documentary about divorce, but from a child's perspective. I wish I had seen this prior to our 43 appearances in court over a 12-year period, as well as 3 DCF and welfare checks, and all the stuff that my ex and I put our kids through. A few things that stuck with me from this documentary was when one child said, "We need both parents to love us more than we need. We need both parents equally. We need our parents to stop using us as messengers and spies." A 10-year study of adult children of divorce was conducted by lawyers, judges, politicians, academics, and therapists, and from this study, most states got rid of primary and secondary parenting and terms like custody and visitation. What the therapists found was that the healthiest thing was for children to have open access to both parents equally and shared parental responsibility. Like this documentary stated, kids want both and need both parents in their lives, even if separate. As a mediator who specializes in family disputes, almost all of the things that these kids voiced in this documentary are contained in a parenting plan. Equal time sharing, not disparaging the other parent, not discussing money matters with kids, not using the kids as messengers or spies, encouraging the relationship between the child and the other parent, and more. The courts are there to set up the legal parameters, rules, and regulations, but cannot dictate human behavior. You can't force a parent to be present. You can't force a parent to exercise time sharing. I recently had a mediation where a mother offered the father 50-50, and he didn't even want 1%. She could not force him to be present. The courts will not force your ex to become the parent that you want him or her to become, or force your ex to be the moral equivalent of yourself. God knows I tried this. I actually tried this 43 times and failed 43 times. Dictating morality is not the job of the court. It is unfortunate because parents will eat the fruit and the children will always taste the bitterness. Children are the collateral damage of divorce, but it can be prevented if we're paying attention. And that's what this documentary was showing. I really wish every parent who files for divorce or files a paternity action would be legally obligated to watch this documentary, along with taking the online parenting class that each parent statutorily must attend. If you have not seen this documentary on HBO, and again, it's called Don't Divorce Me, Kids' Rules for Parents on Divorce, I highly recommend that you see this. If you're interested in having me conduct your mediation, check me out online at iMediateinc.com. Call me at 561-262-9121 or toll free at 877-822-1479 or email me at mbrickman@ichatmediation.com. And I'll talk to you next month.